our wake up call was at 5 a.m. because you had to be on set at 6 a.m. for your first shot ever, which was with Mani Ratnam and Shah Rukh Khan, the two great people. And I remember it was on the streets of Delhi, and it was for Dil Se.
I know. You know what I remember of Dil Se? I don't remember that. You know, I'm so sorry. I remember having a panic attack.
You're going to be a very big heroine because I'm very good at acting that.
I remember that. I remember you said that to me actually when you saw the rushes of Kya Kehna. I remember you came to see the rushes of Kya Kehna and you said that to me. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh, he's being so nice and he's being so. Because, you know, being somebody who was never part of the film industry, you were my family at that point because you. I mean, I know I don't want to sound like I'm gushing and all, but you really taught me so much. I mean, the two people who I learned a lot from at the start of my career definitely was you and Shah Rukh. Shah Rukh taught me everything in terms of how to stand in front of camera. You taught me everything of, like, you know, what should I wear, what looks good on me, how my body should be. And I'm so grateful because today, I don't know how it works today because things have changed so much since then because life was all about, you know, the hero, the heroine, and the costumes and stuff. But I remember in Dil Se I had a panic attack. By the way, for all the people, if they saw that Jia Jale song, my Jia Jale, that song, I had no costume trials, and I remember Shah Rukh called me at 5:36 a.m. and he said, "What are you doing for the next 20 days?" And I just come back from a soldier shoot. And I said, nothing. And he's like, why don't you come to Delhi? Mani sir wants to meet you. And I show up in Delhi and they're like, oh, you're shooting from tomorrow, go back. And I remember meeting you when I came back and I had a panic attack. And then when I had to shoot Jia Jale, the costumes did perfect. And I remember Mani sir coming and telling me, don't worry, you're going to look good. And because I never worn anything so chotu and really.
Here, I want to ask you a question. For you to be just entering into movies and doing this sexy song with Shah Rukh Khan and those itsy bitsy cholis, what did you feel? Because you did such a good job.
You know, I have you to thank for that because even though it was itsy bitsy, it wasn't cheap, and that was important for me. I have thank for that because he made me so comfortable, and I really love him. And I have Farah to thank for that because Farah made sure it was very aesthetic. Being a choreographer, she really took care of everything, and I have the whole crew, Manisha and everybody, because they all took care of it. But I can sum it up in one line. Shah Rukh told me, "Think you're an animal," because I was like, and I had a mirror which was this much, and I was looking at it like this, and he was like, "Just relax and think you're an animal. What animal did you think of?" And I was like, "An ass." And he was like, "No." But it was, I don't know how Girte Padke wo Gana kar diya, and I felt sick, and I remember going to Kerala and Spice Village and Tikri and all those areas and being like, wow. And the whole song was shot with a little bit of rain. I was constantly wet, but it was like, I did have fun shooting it because I felt very safe and comfortable. And I don't know if today's generation will get to work with Shah Rukh Khan that way because he really was like amazing, like Papa Bear. He took such great care of me. I just love him. I always loved him that. And he taught me how to stand and give pacing, and he taught me how to, you know, when the camera is moving like this. And then even in that scene when I asked him, "Are you a virgin?" Improvising, and Shah Rukh said, "The whole day you keep talking, so just talk, do whatever you want." So,
you know, you have been really lucky with music because Dilse's music was so popular, then Soldier's music was so popular, Kya Kehna's music, and Soldier, do you remember that powder blue outfit? That Nayo Kehna, that Nayo, that song was like that.
Anish, I cannot tell you how many people loved it, and it was so simple. That's what I really love about your clothes, that they're so simple, and you were so honest with me. You were like, "Oh, you don't need too much dhoodadha, you just need a nice color, and you need something simple." And I was like, I remember asking you, "Look, should we not make it a little more like more?" And trust me, you just need it simpler. Let the focus be your face and not your outfit. I remember you saying that to me. Because I was like, bus, because when I saw it, I was like, okay. But when I wore it, it looked so good. And it just kind of worked because um, that outfit, I love my lehenga from Lindsay. I wish I could borrow it and whack it, but I was so nervous and I was like, you I was so scared. But
But I think our film, I think the best movie that we did together for me in terms of style and everything was Kal Ho Na. I mean, that you remember that all the clothes in New York and the styling and the alterations, entire night, to get everything fitted correctly. And I think it was one of your best looks. And first we started in Toronto with your glasses and all of it.
yes, I do think Kal Ho Na Ho would definitely top the list. And I would also like to add Veer Zara to it because the amount of work you did in Veer
That was
Zara.
Indian.
I know the amount of work you did because you bring. So that's the only film, and God bless Yashakul.
I miss him. He's just so
I
lovely.
really miss.
Really.
What a pleasure he was to work with.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, we did what, like 15 days of trials or what? And I've done so many trials in my life. And
Yeah.
I was nervous. I was like, Abhi kya? But I just zipped it. Because when you have Mr. Yash Chopra and you have Manish, two of them together, I was like, I'm not even going to say a word. So I didn't even say a word.
And so we've already done Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, we've done Dil To Pagal Hai, we've done Mohabbatein, and then it was Veer Zara. So we had become quite a team. I understood what he likes and what Aditya Chopra likes. And yeah, but it was such a lovely film and you look beautiful.
I know. I mean, I used to look at those costumes, those embroidery. I mean, I don't think people know that even that little buta of embroidery, everything was so researched and like I remember once sitting in that meeting and I was like, oh God. I mean, and he told me, he's like, I know you must be thinking, Beta, that I'm taking so many days for trials, but on set, I just want you to have no confusion and everything is organized. And I think he was one of the most organized directors that way.
I think in movies, especially in that time when glamour was quintessential, I think we worked for 22 hours out of 24 hours. It was crazy because fittings and then alterations and then.
By the way, I don't know people if you guys know this, but he obviously Manish has so many of these master Gs that work for him. But Prasad Master G has seen every heroine in some weird format. Like, and he'll stitch it from here and he'll last minute alterations and fittings and I mean, God bless him. I mean, all these guys.
But I think he was there with us, and I would pick up clothes, do fittings with you, cut them, stitch them in New York.
Yeah.
And
remember the red dress in Kal Ho Na Ho? Guys, do you remember the red dress? The famous red dress, which so we used to call it the awful Panoti dress, because every time that red dress came out, there was either rain or there was a problem or somebody shot. And Shiraz was heading costume that time, or was part of costume that time, and everything was fine. And we were like, "Yeah, let's shoot. Where's the red dress?" And Shiraz forgot to get the red dress. and that's when we were joking and saying, "See, costumes are so important because if the costume doesn't show up, the shoot's not going to happen."
But what I got really popular was the skin and the whole sand ghagra with the powder blue embroidery. That really, yeah.
But I remember I went to Delhi for something and I saw these fake imitations of that ghagra, lehenga. Everywhere it was. And even today, I mean, I'm so sorry guys, whoever wears powder blue and that skin, I think the most iconic one definitely is the Mahide outfit. But even the guys' clothes in that. I mean, I was jealous looking at the boys, they were looking so handsome. Like, I so detailed, but even me, I don't. But I want to know, Manish, now, what is the advice you would like to give girls coming into the film industry now? Seriously, because you have seen it all. Like, really
But
odd. Yeah, I really want to know what's that one thing you would like to tell women because who get into the film industry now, in terms of
when I mean I beauty and glamour has always been a part of Indian cinema. I mean, you look at the movies of the 40s and 50s and 60s. I'm a big fan of those. Beautiful. But I think that it was the late 80s which kind of went a bit loud and which went haywire. But I think compared to the 90s or the 2000s, the entire era, now, if you look at movies, I think it's a little more realistic. You know, the looks have also become a bit more identifiable. It's like the girl next door or a girl from a small town, who has something to say, the actress. So I think that it's very important to have a very individual audience, especially youngsters, to think, okay, I know this girl. She could be a friend of mine. She can, that there's that. So I think that whole stardom thing, which was there earlier, is not there today. You know, and I
why?
think something, they want to know, why are you saying this to me? Why should I wear this or why should I do this? Like, for example, earlier a lot of people would say, okay, I love this, I'm going to just wear this. But today, even when a young bride comes to you, she's so clear. She's so clear about what she wants, who she wants to wear, for which function. Her mother doesn't speak, her mother-in-law doesn't speak. They just want her to be. So I think the audience is very for characters which are very believable.
No, I agree with that because when I started, you were my mirror.
Looking
You
good,
was my
looking
mirror
good.
because there wasn't that much awareness. If you are, there was no social media. There was we were working. We ourselves as actresses were working 18-hour days because you know there were such long hours and stuff like that, and there was no watching Netflix or watching stuff. I mean, there was nothing, and it was a magazine you would look at or a few fashion stuff, but you just kind of went with what you said and hoped that you were right, and thank God you were right. But now I guess you're right. There's so many other options, and I think that's also a disadvantage. Difficult for somebody else to say, but that might not suit you, right? Or that might not. I don't even like argue. I don't even say anything. I'm like, okay, whatever. Because I know whatever you do in Indian will be outstanding for me. Because I get a little confused, like, should I write like this? Should I do it like this? But, like, so I think maybe it's too many opinions now and stuff like that.
So I think for an actress who comes today, she will have to be somebody who's very comfortable with the camera and be herself, and not because the roles demand that easiness is demanded. It's not about glamour as much anymore. Of course, you've got to look good, but
Yeah, it reminds me of, like, I'm not going to name this director, but this happened very early in my career. Like,
but now the acting has become more natural and real, which is good.
yes. No, because
Yes.
situations heroine and the hero and heroine had to be white. They could not even have any shades of grey in them, right? It was just black. There was no grey again in him. He couldn't do anything right. He had to do everything wrong. So there was just that stark block of,
But I thank my lucky stars because I feel like that time that we did all those movies, we were on a flight to Switzerland, London, New York, like every week. And we're picking up clothes, styling them, putting them together. So the exposure was so much. I saw so much of the international work and travel also. So a lot of actresses I tease as, see, you're shooting right now here, but we used to shoot so much in Switzerland and in London and New York and everything. But what I love the flavors of today's movies. I love the whole homeland feeling. It's so real and amazing. So which is good as well. So I enjoy that now.
No, absolutely.
I've done
I
very
think
well.
Indians are coming to a point where it's, like when I started in Dulce, there was times Indians would starting to do well in their lives, even overseas, but they weren't doing. I mean, there were few that were doing well, but not in general. And now Indians are at the top of their game everywhere else. So there's a feeling of pride, and I think that's why movies about your country, where you come from, they've
And
got
that's
rural and they're beautiful. I mean, I think this is the best time for movies, if you ask me, because
yeah.
people are making pics, they're making movies about what happened in India and the interiors and little stories that um, talk about family. Sorry.
Also acceptance of different characters, like you mentioned, like they're not just black or white, they're also gray. And that is so nice because everything is not black or white, you know. So I think that's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I also miss the kind of music. Like, can I complain? I know it's not the forum to complain. But the one thing I really miss and I don't like is the melody and music has changed. I mean, I love Karan's movies because his music, sorry, because his movies also, but his music, because his music is fantastic. Then there's certain filmmakers, their music is fantastic, but in general, it's become very like you, it doesn't go in here, do you know what I mean? And I think it's been changing. I'm sure when you were doing stuff with me, you were thinking, oh, earlier the music was better. Besides the 80s, the music was better. I just feel like the depth, that purity of music, where some people have it still. And for that, I'll give you an example that Anushka and Ranveer's movie with Karan, the title track.
Yeah, the emotion.
I sent Karan a message and said, when a perfectly happy person in a relationship starts crying listening to your song, it means the song is beautiful. Because that song, you're falling apart and you're like, that's the song that will destroy you in those times. I was at that time in a good place in my life, that would not going to say. So, because, I heard that song and I completely was like, oh, this is like so sad.
Yeah.
Now I feel like the music is kind of, or maybe I'm just being, maybe I'm just being an ass.
Yep.
I'm allowed to have opinion. So, yes, so I'm going to see what people.
The lockdown in LA. What's the lockdown in Los Angeles right now?
There's been a curfew for the past couple. Earlier, the processions were peaceful, the protests and everything, but then a lot of people started looting and stuff like that, and I don't believe they were part of the protests. They were just opportunists who were out there trying to. But look at Rodeo Drive and stuff like that in Beverly Hills. Oh my God, they stole from all the big stores, and people are putting all wood on the thing.
Yes.
I saw a video downtown. Somebody came out with a gun, this old man and his son, and he's like, "You look, we shoot." So it was kind of scary, but there's a lot of police. There's the National Guard that's coming in, and every day we get a message saying curfew. So, and it's really sad because this is the time, and I think it's part of it, every time I complain and I say I'm so frustrated, I'm sitting at home, I then feel a little ashamed of myself because there are a lot of people who don't have food, and there are a lot of people who don't have a home, there are a lot of people who don't have family next to them, and then I'm just so grateful, and people are feeling right now because, and that's also coming out. My feeling is that when everyone's so tight, I hope this thing doesn't spread again, because this is just not a problem for America or India. It's a global problem now.
It's a global problem.
And I'm like, somebody's told me you can't do what you want to. So I'm kind of feeling a little thing, but we started. But I eat bhel and I have pani puri, and then I'm like, okay, I'm fine. But I'm happy my mom is here. What about Mumbai? I mean, I believe the cyclone, thank God, saved us. It didn't really. But
Well, the
how?
number is increasing, unfortunately. But I think that people have been really good, and they've been like sitting at home and taking care. It's opening up by like 10% from the 8th. That's on Monday, and so I think it's slow and gradual. And it's time that people have to be really careful and take care of themselves, because we're also opening up slowly and steadily in the month of June. So this is the month that people will have to be even more careful. I mean, of course, everybody would want to step out and go to work or go for a walk. The taxis have started, and things like that. So I think that people are also starting, because I think there's also when people step out, they feel a bit better. The only request that everybody has for people out there is that you take care of yourself. I think that's extremely important. So gloves are important. Mask is important, and sanitization is important. So I think you've got to be as careful as it is, and life has to start as well. But most importantly, the good thing was that the travel has started. So a lot of the migrant workers are now reaching their homes when they wanted to go, wherever they wanted to go. So all that has started, like trains have started and the planes have started. So there is a moment of, you know, uh, so I think things should be better soon, hopefully.
No, I think everybody's been fantastic in Mumbai. I mean, considering the population we have, and considering everybody lives in apartments and you don't have gardens, and of course, Manish, you though. I don't want to say, but your house is so amazing. I mean, if you're stuck in there forever with all the space you have, you're fine. But like mostly in Mumbai, there's no space, and I think the people have been amazing in terms of staying in, because to be locked up like that,
Good, right?
and my building in Mumbai, somebody had a case of coronavirus. So I really hope, guys, everybody understands that this is not just about you and me; it's about all of us. And
Yeah,
every
exactly.
should wear a mask, and the mask doesn't have to be some high-tech N95 mask. You can even, wear any cloth, anything, because you're not just saving yourself, but you're protecting the other person also. So,
Yeah, it's important. And
yeah,
yeah, I think that I'm just seeing these
all
messages.
be shut, right?
Sorry?
All the stores and all, everything must be shut, right?
We just started a Delhi store and a Hyderabad store because things have opened up in Delhi. But we had to like we were at like a lot of Zoom meetings. Say for 2 or 3 weeks, we were working on the entire health measures that we would take, and be entire sanitizing the place, making sure that our entire all of us have gloves in the stores, and all of us have masks, and seeing to that only 3 or 4 people are allowed. So it's like I've said, that slowly and steadily things are starting, but one has to be really careful. And I just hope we get out of this really fast. I have to say this: there's somebody who's going on WhatsApping me constantly and saying, please ask her that when is she going to do movies again. And yeah, I've got so many WhatsApp messages right now.
Really? So I think this quarantine has rewired my brain, and I'm going to do a lot of movies. I'm going to do a lot of work. Uh, Sitting at home for some strange reason this time. I mean, I got a. I mean, you know me. I was like working non-stop every time, and then I got into cricket, and then I went into a different zone altogether, and I really, sorry, and I kind of spent a lot of time going to all my filmmaker friends saying, I don't really want to work right now, because the one thing people were great with me were, they were very respectful, they were really nice, they treated me really well. So I didn't want to be that person who says, send me a script, I don't want to do it. I did one film because I had to do it, but now I think I am going to have less focus on cricket and focus a lot more on on movies, on any content I want to do. Right now, I was just doing a class, a screenwriters class I'm doing, because I need something to do sitting at home. But I kind of watched so many movies and I watched so many shows, and I was like, oh my god, there's such good stuff happening out there, because I really hadn't seen a lot of stuff. But घर पे बैठ के and having nothing to do really. Um, and I think I'm not going to, like, I'm actually going to actively go out there and really look for some great work.
You should. I just got a message from Mavra. She's a very pretty actress from Lahore, and she said that how you are on a top list, and she said that the Bumro song is her like on her top most best song list, and she's fabulous.
Hope you guys are good and safe. Sending you lots of love.
I mean, there's so many messages that are coming, and tell her that I love this, and tell her a big hi, and yeah, and like we love her, and I'm a huge fan. Somebody just sent, and yeah, it's see, look,
I mean, thank God I have this new doggy, and so there's a lot of things we do together. But beyond that, it's been kind of I think since I was 17, I've not had any. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Everything is stopped. Our profession, even the cricket is stopped, right? So we don't know what's going to happen right now. And I'm really hoping that, because I stopped thinking of my problems, because when I saw all the issues with migrant workers and stuff, there was also a bit of guilt, that, oh, we don't even know all this is happening. And of course, you want to help out, and we've all made an effort to help. But still, I feel like it's so sad to see little children without food and people. So it's like I didn't think in my life, at least in my lifetime, in our lifetime, we would see something like this. Like after we are done, gone, bye bye, they will make for I think another 100 years movies about this time and what really happened. And I just saw a message
but
saying,
no one ever thought this would happen. Like nobody ever, and it's just it's something that I just wish that time could go forward and we just over from this and we find a vaccine and the whole world gets down to coming back to where we were. And I think that the only thing is that this period also teaches us that what we have, the loved ones or the friends that we have, our family, and what all we have is good. You have learned to respect it also a lot more.
No, absolutely. And I'm just so grateful. My mom, she was visiting us and she was going to leave 2 days before the lockdown in India. And I was like, Mom, I don't think you should travel. And she's like, no, I'll be fine. And then she said, no.
When you went to your mom, I thought about that head massage, that you were getting the nice malish. And somebody just wrote on a comment saying that, oh, I saw that, so your mom was really pampering you and, yeah. And I was like, how nice. Getting this nice head massage, we're not getting one here.
Oh, so champis are happening full on and once a week. And
dosa, chutney, and you're getting a head massage, you're working out, so you're doing good.
Oh, I'm working out.
The most.
I'm definitely working out because I've lost 15 pounds. 8.
Wow.
Yeah, because I've
lost 10 kgs. I've also lost 10 kgs in these 2.5 months.
Oh, that's
I've been off.
So good because I can see that she does. So yeah, because I was just that's it. The idea is to you have to be positive and you have to think about all the things you have and appreciate. But it's also a time to be so I got a message from a lot of my friends. So me, I'm a germaphobe. Even if I go to my gym in India, I'll take my own Clorox wipes and I'll clean it and all. So I was getting messages from them saying, we miss you. Now everyone, and I keep washing my hands and saying, guys, you should wash your hands. And everybody was like, relax. Even my mom used to tell me, it's okay. A few germs is okay. Otherwise, your immune system will go. But now I'm like, Mom, see? But yeah, and I really hope there are a lot of people sitting at home going crazy, right? Because it's been tough. I want to tell all those guys, just hang in there. This too shall pass, right? It will pass. It has to. And so I have a question. What about all the wedding stuff and all?
Well, a lot of the weddings are of course delayed because people are, want to be more responsible, and which is a good thing. And I think for all of us also, I think to understand that, listen, this is not about business now. It's about being responsible. And I think it's all going to be slow. Fashion is going to be a lot more slower. And there isn't a need for too much as of now. And I think it's really important to, at this point of time, to go slow. A lot of the weddings have been postponed to next year, and
Really?
and I think toned down, yeah, and even some have delayed to like November, December. People want to tone it down, and that I think is the right thing to do. Preeti, I also have a question for you. Among
Yeah.
all the actors of today, which is that actor that you would love to, or which are the actors that you would love to work?
So can I be really mean and horrible and don't beat me up? So my view has always
No,
worked with
no,
a
just that.
my view has always been to work with a director because a director is the guy who or the best part of you. So technically, it's important to work with a director over an actor. Having said that, which are the I want to work with everybody. I want to work with Varun. I want to work with Ranveer. I want to work with. I'm now, please, guys. I'm just right now. It's morning for me. My brains don't work in the morning, so I'm forgetting all the names. I want to work with all the girls. I want to work with everybody because there's no. Because whenever I used to watch any show and all, and they used to say, "Who is a better actor?" and then you feel bad because we're all human. It's not fair to compare. But I want to work with Alia. Alia and me worked together though in what do you call it? In Sangharsh, she was mini me. I think Sara is
Ah,
amazing. I mean, having said that, everybody. But a little more focus on directors though.
so any director that you really want to work with?
Sorry?
Any director that you really want to work with? The new directors? Actually, so many, they're so good.
They're so good. And I mean, Zoya, she's not new. We worked
Yeah.
together a lot, but never together in terms of as a
She's-
director. Zoya, I just saw. I mean, not just saw. I saw a lot of her work. I love her work. Raju Hirani is fantastic.
Of course.
I cannot remember any names right now, but like all the newer lot, I mean the kind of stuff they're doing is fantastic. And so it really comes down to the project and what I mean I would love to do some really cool action. I know everybody thinks in India there's no good action, but I hope there is. And I don't know what I'd like to do. Maybe when I read a script or something, but I'm actually actively starting to read scripts now.
But
And
they become really fabulous. I mean, if you saw War was like just fabulously made. It was like any international film. The way it was and the way Ritik and Tiger looked was like, and Vani, and they were just fabulous.
this is the look for that. I mean, these guys, even Vani, everybody,
Yeah,
focus,
lovely. And the way the film was made, yeah.
all these guys are so.
So then you
I just got a message saying, "Hey, I'm seeing you live chat and missing you, chitty chatting." My friend sent me a message. So no, I think today's generation is so focused on the look besides performance. I mean, for me, my focus about me being on the look was I would just come to you and say, take care of me, okay? And then, of course, there's a little bit of my hair and this and that, but now, I mean, look at those bodies. I mean, I remember in Salam Namaste when I had to really work out and stuff, I was cursing at everything. What is this? I mean, it should be about performance, but not about how I look. And Diane Pandey, I used to train with her then, and we trained so hard. We used to train 2 to 3 hours a day. And now I think all these kids do that all the time. Like for every
no,
move.
but the way you looked, I remember, and I think the audience must know that you were the first actor to start really going out there and buying expensive shoes, expensive hats, and I remember coming into your room
I
in
love
New
you.
York
That
and a line of shoes and line of hat boxes. So you were always very into buying the most phenomenal shoes and buying very good hats. I remember. To still,
yes, I'm actually obsessed with shoes and hats. Though, and clothes also, but I stopped when I got into cricket for some reason. I just stopped dressing up because every time I would dress up,
yeah.
people were heroin and undermine me that, I probably had less brain heroines, and because I was surrounded by so many boys, I didn't think it was right for me to really. Because one day I wore a dress, everybody was like, they looked at me as an actress and not as a person working in sports. So I think I let myself go during the cricket years, like a lot of it, because now that I've lost weight,
That Preeti back, who's into shoes, who's into clothes, who's into hats. Now that has to be back after this.
no idea. Because I mean, of course, I'm going to go and see the games and stuff like that. But it's no more now. The business is set, and of course, I want to be part of watching games and stuff. But earlier, I mean, very few people realize that being a woman in a man's world. See, being a woman in film industry is fantastic because you can take care of your hair. There's somebody looking at you. Your makeup, your hair, your styling is beautiful. So you feel the essence of being a woman. Being a woman in cricket is a negative. Anybody, if you look good and you talk to somebody, they're like, oh, they must be having an affair. Oh, so it totally undermines your professionalism. It totally undermines who you are. So I just decided that that whole aspect of me had to change. And now when I was looking at my computer and looking back at pictures from 10 years ago, and I was like, oh God, I really let myself go in this cricket. I was so brain wired that I did not want to be a heroine or try to dress up and look really attractive. Because with all these boys around, I think I had to find that common ground so they could take me seriously and respect me. And now, of course, I'm over that because I'm like, huh. This is also when you get older, you reach a point in your life. So, by the way, this is my thing for all the teenagers out there. If you're looking crooked, if you're looking weird, if you're looking this thing, it's all right. Because if I show you my teenage picture, you're going to die. Everyone's supposed to look weird in their teenage years. So please, be a teenager, enjoy your weirdness, enjoy those pimples on your face and all that. It's all right. Because it's going to get better, it's going to get better. In your 20s, you're always trying to please everybody and you're trying to be like, oh. Soon you'll find your space, you'll find who you are. And look at me now. I think I look better than earlier. At least I hope to believe that. But you reach a stage in your life where you're like, I don't care. You don't like me, I don't care. Like, thank God there was no social media when I started my career because if people would be abusing me or saying mean things, it would have really hurt me. But now, I don't care. Because if somebody's saying mean things to me, your life must be miserable. That's why you're being mean to me. Because the only time or like not so great is when I'm going through a bad phase and just like everything looks bad, right? So you have to be
negativity, no time for biased, silly opinions, not at all.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel bad, like like there are things that touch you, right? So you let's say tweet about it, or you send an Insta message, put it on Instagram, like let's say this elephant that just was murdered, right?
Yep.
So I put up somebody started like saying, oh, you care about an elephant? What about eating food or chicken? Oh, I'm not eating chicken, by the way. I'm vegetarian these days. Unless I go out and there's no option. But still, as much as I can, but irrespective. And the migrants are having a problem and you care about elephants? Yeah, I do. But right now, this elephant has bothered me and I want to talk about it. So if you have a problem, mute me. Don't. But so that's another thing I feel for the younger generation of actors and actresses. They must go through so much people telling them, oh, you didn't look good in this movie, oh, you look fat, oh, you look thin, oh, you like this. Thank God I didn't get to hear all this because it would have really crushed me. Because when you're young, you're so, like, your mind is like a blank paper. Anything people say gets imprinted. As you get older, you get the thicker skin. You're like,
they are smart and they kind of understand that these things are not to be taken seriously. And I think the best way to be is to be positive, and you have an entire day ahead of you, but I've reached my night time to go to sleep. You know, I wake up at 5 every morning or 5:30.
Passing out retired. Can we talk?
Yeah, of course we can.
You're saying the best thing is to be positive, but remember, The most negative word of 2020 is positive. Because
Wow.
anyone, you're positive, you're like, sorry, that's a really bad joke. Keep you awake. But